welcome back to my Let's Play series. This playthrough is going to be less about the core game and more about a personal balance mod that I've been working on. The major difference that you'll see in this mod is, well, hopefully a little bit better balance. Obviously there's some factors that I need to fix, but the basic ideas are more meaningful level-up choices. More viable strategies, because in the vanilla game it seems like there's basically just one strategy, and that strategy is called the Essence strategy. So this one attempts to give you a little bit better choices between Towns, Conclave, and Fortress. Also, I wanted to make the Sovereigns much more powerful, so that they really stand out from your normal heroes. A good example of that, I think, is Lord Aurelius. Here you look on the right, and this is from turn 1, mind you. He gets a whole bunch of traits past this. He's an adventurer, so he starts out at level 3 in the game. So right away you'll get to pick 2 traits. He has Might, which is +4 attack. He has Acrobatic Master, which is +2 dodge per level. And you know, you can level a hero up to like level 20 by the end game, hopefully. So that's going to be a nice progressive trait. He's also got +1 counterattack. So if you combine that with, like, say, his Athican Longsword later in the game, it's going to have 3 counterattacks per round. And given that he's a high initiative unit, it's going to be a lot of counterattacks. Yeah, so this character is going to rely heavily on Prestige, which allows lots of city growth. But one thing that's different in this is you can't, like, I don't know, in Beta 3, there was this really nice sort of slow and granular process to growth, but it was a little bit too slow. In Beta 4, they added some spells to increase growth, but those spells are way too powerful. So you're getting like 90% of your growth from this one spell. Your prestige doesn't matter, which means you can spam it everywhere. It's not based on how many cities you have. And towns, which are supposed to be like the growth choice for city level up, do like 5% of the overall growth. So I've modded the game to have, like, I would say 60 to 70% of your growth come from towns, a little bit from spells, and the rest from prestige. I've also sort of done this thing where each level up you get for a city has some sort of specialization bonus, and then it has 3 minor bonuses that you can choose from, instead of just getting one bonus that doesn't really affect anything, and then double the research. For some reason, every city is increasing research by 100% every time they level up, which isn't a very, you know, good design if you want to have good city specializations. What else? So a quick look through the characters. Lord Aurelius, oh, here it is. Ah, that's nice. The user interface makes that nice and big. I didn't even know this would be a thing. It says Sovereign starts at 3rd level, has 30 dodge, and +2 moves. So he's going to be a great hero for adventuring, because he can move so quickly early in the game. He'll be moving at 5 moves per turn, whereas all other units will pretty much be moving at 1 move, or 2 moves per turn. Oracle Cerisa is +3 levels for her summons, and that's not the level of the monster, I believe. It's at the actual base stats of the monster, so that's a little bit more complicated to get into. But basically, she has very strong monsters. She's got more magical abilities than everyone else. Like, usually, most sovereigns can only afford like 1 magical specialization, but she's got fire, water, and death. Death is going to be weakening your enemies. Fire is geared towards magical damage, and water does a good mix between damage and summoning. She's got Attunement, which is +6 mana per season. That's a big deal. It means she can cast, you know, 3 or 4 times as many spells in the early game as other players. She's also got Brilliant, which is +2 spell mastery per level. So in the end game, she's gonna like, every counter spell she tries will work. Every attack spell she tries will not be resisted. Things like that. But she is scarred, so she has a problem healing. She can only heal 1 hit point per turn, and she gets less HP per level. Overall, she's going to be a great caster, but not the best for any sort of melee. Oh, another thing that I've tried to do is I separated the sovereign traits from the faction traits. Right now, you know, the game's in beta, so not everything's perfectly balanced. But if you go into the major factions, they seem pretty balanced. If you try to create a custom faction, half of the faction traits are actually on the sovereign instead of the faction, so you're getting sort of like a unfair shake or possibly overpowered factions when you try to make your own. What I did is I separated them so that your like summoner trait only affects your sovereign, not your whole civilization. But then if you look at the faction trait, start with shard harvesting technology, and then she starts with an additional 140 mana. Death worship, same as the original, and binding, same as the original. However, someone like Lord Relius, he used to have a sovereign trait called Natural Leader, which gave him 0 cost when hiring heroes, which would normally be anywhere between 90 and 1,000 Gildar, normally. But what I've done is I've added that ability to Wanderlust, so Wanderlust will... or is it Heroic? No, it's Wanderlust. Wanderlust will give you the Athican Leather, the Fending Blade, the Athican Longsword, and you get free recruitment on heroes. So basically any hero or any faction that you choose from the original will have the same traits. It'll just be positioned differently, so that when you go into create character and customize faction, you've got 3 possible points and some different choices here, but the choices are a lot better balanced. Like Slave Lord is an amazing ability, so it costs 2, so that takes up all your points. Oh wait, no, you're supposed to have 3 points. Right, that's another thing people need to know if they're creating a custom faction. There's a bonus point here in weaknesses to get you up to 3 points. For some reason, the points was hard-coded. You can't change this in the elemental defs. So I got around that by just adding a random bonus point to weakness. So make sure you choose that if you're making your own faction. There's some other choices here like no armor, uneducated, inefficient, no ranged weapons, and notable magic. But you could just take bonus point, and if you really want more of these, you can get tons of points. But also, I made these weaknesses really hurt the player. Like, when you first look at them, you're gonna like think to yourself, "Oh, Sean W3 is such an asshole. Why did he make these so terrible?" But the point is that yes, they're terrible. But if you look at the benefits you can get from taking one, it's balanced out. Like vulnerable to magic used to be like minus 20 spell resistance. That's nothing. It's not going to affect the game. But minus 100 spell resistance, that means that you can never resist anything throughout the entire game. That's a pretty big cost. Uneducated is minus 30% research. That won't be a big deal in the beginning of the game, but later on it's going to take you... I mean, you're going to have 30% less technology than the rest of the kingdoms. So that's something you got to balance out. So anyways, we'll take a bonus point here. And then we'll look like, see, binding is now 2 points instead of 1, because getting free monsters is pretty much like, you know, a huge army that you're getting from your shards. So I figured that should cost a little bit extra. Enchanters is a scrying pool. That's a +1 essence for your town. That's gotta cost 2. Slave Lord, you get free units. That's gotta cost 2. Warrior Cast is all trained units start off at 2nd level. Oh, I need to update the description of that. Warrior Cast gives you the training ability early. You start out with that. You get +1 level to all train units, and you get minus 50% wages. So hopefully you watch this video before you make your own faction. Wanderlust is the free champions. I know I added that to the description, but it didn't show up. Maybe I added it to the provides, not the actual description. But anyhow, this will give you free recruitment, which can be a good strategy. And then Betrayers is you can recruit Empire and Kingdom factions. Oh, and wow, I must have added everything to the tooltip and not the overall description. But this will also give you 1,000 Gildar to start, which is what everyone expects from cracks. You get that extra Gildar, and you get both sides of heroes to recruit. There's the other options are all basically just one. I did add some stuff that was pretty annoying, like you can't choose henchmen in the vanilla version. For your custom faction, you have to play as Altar to get it. But in this version, things like great hammers, archery. Where's henchman? Now I should probably find it since I described it. Yes, train henchman is now 1 point. So that's something to take into consideration. So yeah, that's pretty standard. I'm gonna add more weaknesses and strengths into the game. Pretty much as you guys suggested, I'll try and add them in, assuming that they're possible. So I encourage people to make suggestions. On this scale, let's see, we've got... I better go over these just to make sure people know what they do. See right here, I've got 9 customization points. The reason is that Summoner, if you read the tooltip over here, plus 3 levels for summons, unlocks the Summon Shadow Work spell, and offers 4 more customization points. So you start out with 4 more customization points at this point in the game. But let's say I choose Armorer, now it's only 5 points, because I spent 1 on choosing Armor, and your standard is 6. Alright, so let's look at Armor. Armor is amazing, really. Armors get plus 50% to defense, so that's a good bonus at the beginning of the game. That's an epic bonus at the end of the game, and it's designed to be that way. You get plus 50 weight capacity, so you never have to worry about being over-encumbered. And you get plus 10 defense when defending, which is great in the early game. If you can get a sword with a counterattack, you're going to be very strong if you just sit there and defend in every battle. So let's say we choose Armorer, and then we go... It's going to be 2 points for each magic, so that's going to be... It's going to be difficult to balance your magical abilities with your talents. Talents are very powerful, but some of them cost a little extra. Like Attunement is 2 cost, and that's plus 6 mana. Necromonitor is 3 cost, and that is plus 10 initiative. So that's a huge bonus, but it's going to cost the majority of your customization points. You can do Frostkin, which is immune to cold, Thorkin, immune to lightning, Flamekin, immune to fire, Spiteful is immune to counterattack, that can be very handy. You can get it plus 1 counterattack, so if you want to use something like an axe, but you're like, no, I need to be an axe and I need counterattack, you can choose counterattack here. Which should actually also, you get backswing, I believe, on that counterattack, if I'm right. You could just do a straight plus 4 attack, you could do plus 4 crit chance if you want to go as like a hyper assassin. Leaf on the Wind, Serenity reference implied, is plus 30 air dodge. There should be Acrobatic Master, plus 2 dodge per level. Brilliant, that's okay, it's only 1 point, you get a little extra experience, and 2 spell mastery per level. It's better for the end game. Also you should note that it's going to be a lot harder to level up in this version. You'll be getting a ton of XP, but anything past level 5 or 6 is going to take you most of the game to get through. The difference will be that each trait will be more meaningful. Also, there was a problem with heroes. Anytime a hero gets up to like level 10, it becomes nigh invincible. In this version, I've tried to give you some very strong bonuses to attack up to level 10, but past level 10, you're going to have to be killing dragons and clearing wildlands and things like that to get the XP requirement for the next level. Also, I added, like the Adventurers Guild will now give you 3 XP per turn or so, so you can, you know, rack up XP faster on level 1 and level 3 units that you start out with. So this is basically everything. Oh, I've added some, you know, the weaknesses were sort of like lame, like, oh, I'm going to choose Natural Leader, which would give me free recruitment, and then I'm going to choose Cruel, which will give me plus 1 attack net. Now I've taken that out, and I've added something like Clumsy, minus 30% dodge on top of the chance to strike allies, because people were just choosing Clumsy and then choosing ranged weapons, and it didn't really make sense, so I wanted to decrease your overall dodge ability. Wait, no, that should be... I meant that to make that plus minus 30% accuracy, but dodge works fine too. Vulnerable to fire, you get double damage from fire. This could actually be useful if you were going to choose... if you chose a Quindar unit, they now are 75% immune to fire. So you could take vulnerable to fire, and you'd only be 25% vulnerable to fire. Because you have that natural bonus from the other thing. So that would give you an extra point that you could use somewhere if you wanted to try that. You've got vulnerable to lightning, vulnerable to cold, frail, minus 40% hit points. If you're just going to try and do a diplomatic Path of the Governor sovereign, frail is a decent choice to get an extra 1 point. Foolish, minus 100% spell resistance. I name this foolish because you're foolish if you choose it. It's sort of a joke there. One thing I'm still trying to work on, I want to get the traits balanced a little better before I do it, but I'm going to be adding a lot more equipment into the equipment section under appearance. Basically what I'd like to see is some stronger weapons. Hunter Shortbow is actually really powerful now. I'm going to make the Staff of Souls a lot more powerful, and then Persephone's Crown. I don't know how I'm going to deal with that. I think I might have it have some magical bonuses as well as the enchantment bonus, so that you can use it as a spellcaster instead of a fighter, if you choose. Just so you know, Enchanted Hammers is now Earth 2, so you have to spend 3 points in the beginning to get it from turn 1. Or just spend 2 points and try and level sooner. But it isn't right to have that as a turn 1 bonus for certain people and certain not people. Some other choices here. Beast Tamer now gives you... you get the charge ability from the start. You get +1 move. It's pretty good. General is focused on making your main stack of Doom even more powerful. You get +15 to accuracy, +10 to dodge, +2 to initiative, and +1 move for every unit in the army. It's very strong, but it's not going to affect your whole civilization, just the one that you're actually commanding. Warlock is a little bit better. Oh, right, so there was this really interesting post by DDD888 about how there's like different types of magical sovereigns. There's like the Nuke Sovereign, there's a Summoning Sovereign, there's a Buff Sovereign, there's a Curse Sovereign, things like that for magic. So this one is a Warlock, which I want it to be mostly attack-based, and it gives you 50% more damage from attacks. You also unlock Mana Blast, which has been nerfed a little bit, but still pretty powerful. Mana Blast will take 5% of your overall mana and do that much damage to the enemy, and the cost will be 150 mana. So if you take that plus Water Apprentice, you can level Water Apprentice up until you get Mantle of Oceans, reduce the cost of Mana Blast, and then maybe choose, I don't know, Attunement, so you get tons of you start out with tons of mana, and then basically you just try to build up to like 2,000 or 3,000 mana, and then you have one spell that you can use once every 8 turns in battle, that it has a casting time of 1, but you can basically like nuke one unit, and pretty much guarantee their death in the battle. If they resist it, it only does half damage, so that's a risk, but also it won't be they won't be able to counterspell you because you have 30 spell resistance, and when they try to counterspell you, they have to save versus your resistance. So I boosted your resistance to affect that. One idea that I had, just for fun, would be where is it? Gilden has a natural 50 spell resistance, which means you pretty much can't counterspell them. So if you choose that, Water Apprentice, and Warlock, suddenly you've got 80 spell resistance on turn 1. You've got Mana Blast, and then you can take Water to try and get Mantle of Oceans to reduce the overall cost. But the tactical spells cost 50% more. So it would basically you'd need Mantle of Oceans before you really got very powerful. This is a mistake. Train Golems isn't supposed to be here. I wonder why that's there. Let me check. This unit certainly doesn't have it. Why does the Custom Sovereign have that? Yeah, she shows up with Juggernaut. Okay, I guess that one thing I need to do is go through the default sovereigns and delete the ridiculous bonuses like train henchmen and stuff. That's not supposed to be tagged on the sovereign. Some old code there. In fact, some of those might not even exist, so I think I altered the name slightly. Anyhow, you'll have to bear with me on that. Right, so I suppose I should probably start out with a magical race. I'm going to choose Queen Persephone. Scrying Pool, she's got the magic books. Magic books are extremely valuable now, because I've made Earth magic so rare and important. Also, heroes are a lot more important, because like someone like Yithril, someone like Lord Verga would have no magic to start. He's going to have to find magicians out in the world. But this should be alright. She's got adepts and enchanters. She's actually got a ton of magic, but no real other ability. Queen Staff, which is weak for the early game. And then she's got Persephone's Crown, which I haven't fully finished yet. Oh right, so world options, you've got challenging. I'm gonna play on challenging. I'll set up some special difficulties later. Wait, is harder still in the game? Yeah, okay. I'll set it on harder, which is a better difficulty, but I don't think I gave you guys that difficulty. You should really be setting up your own difficulties for your personal use. Monster frequency is on sparse. You're gonna want to choose sparse if you have either a slower computer, weaker computer, or if you're personally weak. So I'm going to put it on sparse just so I don't use too much RAM while I'm making the video. Pacing, normal's fine, magic strength moderate, resource frequency moderate, custom opponents, I don't know why you're not in the group. You should be fine. Oh yeah, to balance out the fact that I like that Yithril had no ranged weapons, but he was only using 3 points for his overall things. I gave him no ranged weapons, which is +1 point to use, and then I gave him quick, which gives all units +4 initiative. So you can imagine their troops are going to be even stronger than before. I'm not quite sure how the balance will work out, but basically the idea is that the early game, up until maybe turn 100, is going to be all sort of hero RPG. Your train units aren't really going to be that good, unless you've chosen Warrior Caste, which will allow you to have very strong units early in the game, and will actually start you off with some basic weapons research. A lot of people are probably going to head in that direction, but I would like to point out that a lot of times, no matter how powerful you make your regular units, if they don't have a good spell resistance, they're going to get nuked by spellcasters. Or someone like Lord Verga, who has Sweep as a starting ability, he can take out 6 or 7 units in one strong hit if he crits. It's pretty impressive. Oh, there was someone that posted on the mod thread that I made about they thought that Conclave was overpowered with that +3 research, but as I pointed out, you get double growth from towns. What I would suggest you do is start your game and think that you have this overpowered strategy, but save before you start doing it, and then keep that save later on, and when you sort of get a little bit farther in the game, but maybe you win or you get bored, go back and play that save again, but choose different options. And you'll notice that it doesn't play the same, but it does. It won't play the same. Oh, here we go. 422. And I think you'll really enjoy the fact that you'll have different kinds of bonuses. And I think that the overall balance will be about the same. I mean, you're still going to be very powerful and feel good about your choices. It'll just require some different sort of strategies. But please let me know if something just totally isn't working. I'm more interested in seeing which areas seem to not work the way you want them to, as opposed to which ones seem overpowered. But that's just the way that I personally balance things. Okay, so we'll forego the initial text. I want to get that Earth Shard as soon as possible because that'll be +1 defense. I'll take Scrying Pool next. And call me crazy, but I might wait. Scrying Pool's 13. I might wait to cast my initial spells until after that because I know that they won't update in time. I'm gonna have a long walk over to my first champion. Oh, I forgot my... Right. Okay, so as you see, I'm an adept, so I start out with knowledge. I also start out with shard harvesting. I'll take charms. Faction killed on turn 1, that's not good. I'm sure that the sovereigns are going to take some tweaking to get them to survive the early game. There can be a lot of bad stuff happening to you, but the idea is that all of the sovereigns are very powerful, so they can handle it on turn 1, except for Craxus, or for Caravox, who is actually set towards... Let's see, 53 Gildar. Oh, good, he's my same faction. So he's got True Strike and Acrobat plus Air 1. I already have Air 1, but he'll make a decent fighter. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Caravox is a diplomat, so he doesn't have a lot of fighting capabilities. But later on in the game, he's going to get ridiculous deals on resources and Gildar and such. Plus, he has a massive ability to do influence. Okay, now we can trade between each other. I'll give you my crown. Let's conjure up some spells. Summon Shadow Work. That's always a good one. Oh, I haven't beefed up Shadow Work yet. Shadow Warg is supposed to have 40 HP and 10 defense, plus Deadly Bite. I wanted it to be a little more powerful. Alright, but anyways, I'll do Evade on Yithril. Nature's Cloak on Ariel. Courage on Ariel. Regeneration on Ariel. Alright, I should have Arcane Monolith as well. So, let's see. Yes. This is the biggest advantage from enchanters, really. Oops. There we go. You can get these shards up early. Oh, darn it. there's another bug in this version where the monsters sometimes move during your turn, because they're all trying to move one at a time right now. Oh, a 4-3. I don't mind if I do. Gotcha. Does this prevent stacking? Whoops. Huh. He's got dodge. Oh, that's haste. Okay. No problem then. I don't want to get too far away from my initial settlement because I don't have the city defense set up yet for the game. Actually, Werewindle City was working on a pretty good city defense mod that I'll probably just incorporate into this whenever he's finished with it. Alright, I want enchantment, but 111 turns seems a little high. I could take sorcery, but actually at this point I need to increase growth and get rushed by. I'm really disappointed that Cracks died again. If you watched my last video when I played as Rizoln, though, they surrendered to me in the very, first 35 turns or so. So I guess they're doing a little better than that, right? Alright, 3 Essence. I'm gonna not trust the game here and wait one more turn to make sure it switches over. Ooh, Enchanted Backpack. Yithril's starting to look pretty strong. As far as my mod plans go, the next thing I have to do is go through the core units file and balance out all the heroes so that they make a little more sense with the new balance. Let's see, Inspiration, that'll be +3 research, or actually +2 because I've got so much unrest, and I'll lower my taxes. Now we're doing, yeah, +4. And then next, I could do Meditation, which is +2 mana per essence. That would be a huge amount of mana. But I think I'll do Sovereign's Call, which is +0.5 growth per essence. So now if we look at my growth, I've got 1 from Faction Prestige, and 1.5 from Sov's Call. Short bow. That could come in handy. Bows are much more competitive in this version. I've got 2 pretty decent expansion points I could go to. Uh-oh. Okay, so normally you'd think to yourself, oh, well, I've got 3 units, he's got 1, I should go attack him. But I would argue that that's a dumb idea. Look, he's got a short sword, and he's doing 27 attack. That's plus 25% from his Warlord ability, and plus 11 from other things. You know, one thing I would like to be able to fix. Let's see, he's got Path the Warrior, Strength, Brute, Blood, Necromonger, Spiteful, Might, and Merchant. The game is adding random traits to Sovereigns to start, to make them more powerful. That shouldn't be in the game. It's just not fair at all. And I'm not even really sure where it's coming from. But basically, he's level 3, which means he's leveled twice. he's gotten Path the Warrior, which he shouldn't have yet. He should have that option next turn. And that's a big deal in my version, because that's plus 6 attack, plus 20 weight capacity. Pretty big deal. And another thing that I don't like is cutting attack is plus 25% attack. And that bonus that he gets puts him at 21 total attack plus 25%, which is plus 5 attack. He shouldn't have that plus 6 attack yet. It's kind of a big balance problem, and I'm not sure how to fix it. I was thinking I would probably ask Heavenfall if he knows a way to subvert it. Devote the city to research and scholarly pursuits. That's exactly what I want. Alright, so now I'm getting closer to my additional +1 essence. Oh, you know what? I just realized I can cast meditation in addition to those other spells. Now I've got +7 mana per turn. This Sovereign doesn't have attunement, but she can get shards so early in the game, it's not a huge deal. Mites. I didn't see them there. Administration. +1 army size, don't need it. I could do with this faction prestige though. And then get education. Yeah. I'm going for a heavy tech rush here. I also need to update the faction power. Oh, another cool thing I did is I made Stinking Mud, Earth 1, Water 1, so I can do this. All enemies are now stuck to one movement. It wasn't Earth 2, Water 2. It's a good spell, but it's not something that's powerful enough to be, you know, Earth 2, Water 2. So I changed it. I really like the results, because the early spells are so expensive now that they should have a lot of meaningful combos in them. You notice these mites are using daggers. Makes them pretty strong now. I think they're using crude daggers before, that doesn't have counter-strike. There we go. Alright, so that was a pretty easy level to level 2, but it'll get exponentially more difficult later on. I should probably take spell resistance. And Yithril, he wants the fighter abilities. I'm going to give him strength, because it might be a while before I get mounts. Alright, so let's look at the XP required to get to level 3 now. That's the main thing that I wanted to check out. It's only 26 XP. It should be 60 XP. I'll need to calculate a way to make it higher. Ooh, some ruffians. Good for me. Oh no. Arhain Arasan. 2-4 spot? Oh, that dumbass. There's a 3-4 spot right over here. AI's still not picking the best spots. And I know he saw it too, because he got up close to it. think I'm going to buff the power of these ruffians. They have 4 attack, 4 defense, which was fine for the vanilla, but I'm going to give them some natural abilities now. Because I want them to be tougher than bandits, which right now they're weaker than bandits. Oh, I finished all my work here. Let's see what my choices are. Cleric, minus 15% unrest. Can't do much better than that. I usually wait a while to build Sage. It's not very powerful in the other game. Alright, so we'll take that unrest bonus, and then I want to get a Pioneer out. Or... yeah, that'll have to be the choice. Uh-oh. This is not good. Dosia, Erkson, working for Yithril. Brute, Erkson Blood, Death Apprentice, and Strength. I could probably take her. But then I would have to fight Lord Verga soon. Continue research. So, you know, Pariden is probably one of the better researching choices in the game. Rats are my specialty. That was bad pathing. Oh, whoops, there's a arcane monolith I need to put up. Right about there. Because she's gonna have better essence. Figured it'd be a corpse spider. If I don't get a slow on that spider, I could be in serious trouble. So now I'll have 2 air shards. Wait, actually, that is faster. I really need to get that hero soon. He's level 7. He can't do at all better than 300 Gildar. So I'll take that. What are the mod plans am I working on? Oh yeah, because Influence is still probably not powerful enough to be a starting choice, which it is for Diplomat. I'm gonna add some world achievement buildings to the early game that require a lot of influence, so that the first person that gets enough influence gets a major boost to their economy, or some special fighting units or something like that. Alright, now we'll take heroes onto Iriog's journals. I think I'm going to get there faster than it says. Maybe about 33 turns. Oops. I don't think I traveled east at all. Alright, so now you see that my faction prestige is a little bit higher, and you can already tell that Sovereign's Call is only doing 33% of the overall growth, which is about what it should be doing, instead of 50%. Non-aggression pact, 65 Gildar. Way worth it. He's probably gonna take a city here. Alright, so there's heroes, but that won't unlock the one I want. And I don't see any others. This would be a good place to do my fortress. Or I could just take the 4-2 or the 4-3. No, the 3-4 is better because it'll have potential to make a windmill or a watermill. These water shrills were seeking me out. Let's see what they have to say. Oh, one thing I'll make a note of is shrills need to be naturally resistant to magic, so I'm going to add about 50 spell resistance to their stats. Let's see what my initiative's at. 33. Plus 6 from haste, that'll be plus 8 in a little while. Guardian Wind could be useful. Tutelage, certainly useful. Then I've also got the Earth Disciple's Choice, which is, Enchanted Hammers. Hands down the best choice right now. Oh, another note I need to make is to make Nature's Call more powerful. Quick, and then Spell Resistance 2, which would be an additional 20 spell resistance. Oh, perfect. Adventurer's Boon for my aerial fighter. Sharp Dagger, that's a good improvement over Dagger. Extra crit chance. Spend 12 Gildar to beat out Gilden on this expansion. Actually, that looks like it might be an outpost. Oh no, it's Vargan's Keep. It's one of their cities. A 5-3. Well done. Okay, so I get plus 9 mana per turn. That means I can cancel Meditation. Favor of Enchanted Hammers. So yeah, I just went from 12 production to 27, more than double. But it's an Earth 2 spell. It should be that powerful at about Earth 2. As near as I can figure. There's a bonus. Logging camp. And then scrying pool. Oh, whoops. I didn't realize. I thought I chose... In my head I was training a pioneer here. Mirella, 96 Gildar. Oh, right, because she's Pariden. She's got too many spells. I'm probably only going to give each non-sovereign unit one spell. Or, you know, one elemental book ability. Can I summon a second familiar? Oh, that's a familiar. That's different than a Shadow Warg. It kind of looks the same. Can I summon a second Shadow Warg? Interesting. Seasons to Iriak's journal. I don't know if anyone was keeping track, but that was a lot less than 30 turns. Alright, so that's 1, 2 there, 1, 2 there. Putting a monolith here to connect my zone of controls and get rid of that 10% unrest penalty. I think I might want to switch Arcane Monolith to the Adepts technology instead of Enchanters. It makes sense lore-wise in Enchanters, but it's just too much to have Scrying Pools and Arcane Monolith in the same boat. Even for a cost of 2. This is the Yithril capital, I'll bet. We're all getting fairly cozy with each other. He almost killed me. These shamans are pretty good. Stand up to a whole army. Oh boy, I didn't realize there'd be something else sitting there. I'm gonna risk it. I have the extra movement point. Oh, darn it. Looks like they beat me to the other spot. could build there. Oh, Scarstone. That works well. Do I have to... that Verwin's army? Yeah, she brought a pioneer, so it's a good thing I did it that turn. It doesn't look like I'll be able to capitalize up here. Alright, so I definitely want this 2-4 spot. It's not a good spot for leveling, but I mean it's fine for, I don't know, producing scouts or money or something. Blizzard Scroll, that's pretty good. And a Midnight Stone. Midnight Stones in my version, you'll note, do 10 spell resistance instead of 5. Makes them a little bit more useful. Should probably kill that bear. This unit, let's see, I've got only +3 mana per turn. Mace and some magic, which might be okay against a bear. The haste slow combo is very effective. You can get double initiative on units with just a few shards. What? After doing that attack, the tile yield value has disappeared. First strike. It's very nice to get first strike before the enemy puts up a defense. Oh. Thicker skin, nice. Tread that over to my hero. It's +1 defense. Band of Agility, +10 dodge. What is my unrest here? 10%? They have 1 essence. I think I'll use it on Nature's Bounty. You'll notice Nature's Bounty is 100 mana. But +1 grain is a pretty big deal. And, you know, if it were 3 essence, that'd be +3 grain, and that's an even bigger deal. So now I've got a 4-4 city. It's looking a lot better as a town. It's going to be a small town, but a town nonetheless. Didn't I just kill that? Oh no, that's a full-size bear now. Well, let's hope that it doesn't see me. I did just kill one of your children, but I hope you'll let me pass anyways. That's pretty much what I have to say. Alright, it looks like it, but it's not true. There's no 3-season minimum in this version of the game. On construction, you can build as fast as you can build. Until they fix the bug where you actually gain Gildar from rush buying, I see no reason to play by that rule. Because then you're still rush buying, and you still don't have that minimum turn thing, you're just getting extra Gildar. So I know it's supposed to be a balance factor, but it's actually making the game less balanced. For now. I'm sure they'll fix it eventually. Alright, so we're gonna settle here. Build the logging camp first. And then a scrying pool in the same fashion as the other thing. And then once it has one essence, I'll cast a grain spell on it again. I need to start going after some grain tags. As you wish, we shall go. Whoa. That city is not going to fare well. There's a freaking dragon right next to it. Is this their capital? I wish that there was some way to tell. I just wish. So 521 could be their capital. Hilga, that doesn't sound quite right. Let me look at the map. It's the right distance. Yeah, that's got to be their capital. So Fell Dragons starting at your capital is not a good thing. That's maybe why Kraxus got killed, because there's some sort of Fell Dragon that's spawning on starting locations. But to make another point, don't report bugs like that if you're playing a modded version, because it's probably the mod that's doing it. Alchemy Lab. It's a nice side effect of Iriok's journal. I'm just about ready to start training units, and generally you want enchantment for Pariden, but I don't have any crystal resource really. So I'll just take agriculture and try to boost my economy until I find some better resources. I feel really bad for Yithril. That dragon is going to be probably a game ender for them. Specializing this as a city, or as a town. This is level 9. Ooh, General Caritas. If you haven't been paying attention to the game, General Caritas is badass. He's got a sovereign trait, which is plus 15 to armies accuracy, dodge, initiative, and moves bonuses. And then he's got Silver Broadsword. It's 14 attack, 2 initiative, weight 6, 2 counterattacks per round, 10 attack versus twist, and 10 attack versus elemental. He's got level 3 in air and life, and Path of the Warrior. So yeah, he's a badass. Oh, plus he's got the reinforced Blade Cuirass and the Warhorse. So yeah, it's a pretty intense unit. They need to boost the Warhorse. If the Warhorse is going to be a special unit for the Mancers, it should probably do what Warg does and what Horse does combined. So, you know, have plus 2 moves, plus 6 initiative. Or at least that's how I might want to see it. Looks like we've got some ruffians that spawn together, as per the change I made. Monsters of the same type will generally spawn next to each other. Adventurers Guild. That's 7 seasons for plus 2 research. kind of need the shrines right now. In fact, I'm gonna do all my altars into shrines. Oh, so I have one crystal quarry. I can get +4 crystal per turn from that if I specialize. What are you doing? Oh, that's not my unit. I was gonna say, I didn't tell you to go over there. I'll send Morella in this direction to get that hero. Oh, what am I doing? I need trading. Yeah, it'll be faster. Trading is one of the best defense technologies, because it gives you roads. So let's grind pool. Probably don't need any magic here. My competitors look like they're building a better army than I am. That could be a problem. Hard to say right now. I better get influence in my town. Influence can really help you on... Oh, that's an Umberdrath. For some reason, ruffians are spawning on top of Umberdrath, which I couldn't find out why in the code, but it's definitely happening. Legend of Tandis. Wait, what did that say? Ah, yeah, +10 experience. Oh, so now I'm level 3. Level 4 is 54 XP. Yeah, I want at least double that. Not sure why this mite decided to defend in the back. Maybe it thought it was an archer. Oh, look at this. Let's see, I got my Earth Shrine, so that's +4 mana per turn now. But I can do an Arcane Monolith here. I'm starting to run out of... basically my new strategy is to defend that point. And that'll give me 3 air shards. I'm getting pretty lucky on air shard placement, but I'm also being very aggressive about taking them. They got trading before I did, rubbing it in my face. So, Orbine and Twilight Bees. Handy. That just made this Raven's Heart a very good choice for me. Oh boy. The problem with with mites is that they're like cockroaches in this version of the game. They don't give you very much XP. They're pretty easy to kill, but they will never stop spawning. They spawn pretty much once every turn, or once every 5 turns. So if you just kill them here and there, it's not going to stop them at all. What you have to do is exterminate them. I wanted the player to have a healthy hatred for mites. Umberdroth lair. Yeah, it's very obvious that the Umberdroth lair is doing that. Now I think that if I just leave the lair alone, the Umberdroth is not going to chase me around. But I've noticed that if I do take it, it sort of angers the Umberdroth and he'll chase that unit. But that could all just be in my head. He's probably going for my air shrine. Oh, good. Raven's Heart has their essence now. Can't afford Nature's Bounty. Nature's Bounty will make this a 3-4, and that Orchard will make it a 4-4. So I'll have 2 pretty good towns now. I'm just gonna save up. The grain. Trading. Oh, good. There's my road. Interesting choice. When I get my first Path to Governor, I'm gonna build a road from here to here. That Umberdroth is officially gone. But let's see what happened when I take it to there. I'll get Hunter's Axe. 9 attack, -2 initiative. Just 10 attack versus Beast. What is an Umberdroth? Beast. That could be useful. And a shield to go along with the axe. You know what, I should check his initiative. He's still good on initiative. Still at 20. Oh, whoops. Should have had him go into the swamp. I could get kicked out before I complete my task. Oh, it's so disappointing. Ritressa's too good for me, apparently. Wow, she might be too good for me. Water Disciple, Spell Resistance, Path of the Defender, Iron Skin, Frostborn, and Strength. Unit struck suffer -3 to initiative. Wow, talk about overpowered. If you had Frostborn and Frostkin, you could be pretty strong. That was a mistake. I want to break this unit up to defend. That unit doesn't have an anchor now. So close. Lost both of my shadow dwarves. I guess that proves they're not overpowered yet. They will be soon. One thing I learned is that I need to save... Oh, what have we here? Spear Maiden. Let's take a look at this Spear Maiden. Now you'll see it has fast, and charge, and iron skin. So it's doing 13 defense, 27 attack. What's the attack bonus from? Oh, from being a Trog. And 5 moves, plus 3 attack on the first turn. With your standard spear and some basic leather. That is a modification I made to the Spear Maiden so that it's a little more competitive throughout the game. Let's take a look at hit points. It's doing base value 4, plus 8 from level bonus. I think I might change the base value to 8 and then do plus 3 from level bonus. Make things a little more hardy and a little less concerned with leveling. But really, if you want better health, go town or something to achieve it. Would be my advice. A stronger army is coming for me now. I don't want to resummon my shadow dwarves because they're so expensive. I'm going to double check that all my enchantments are functioning properly. Dodge is 39. Well, it's plus 3 from Acrobat. Plus 21 from Evade. Let's see, 3 air shards is an additional 6 dodge on top of 17. Right? Evade, plus 15 dodge, plus 2 per air shard. So yeah, that's fine. Wait, no, so it would be 17, 19, 21. Okay. Band of Agility, that's helping. Wood Shield's helping, and base values at plus 3 from a book I read. Alright, he just needs to level up to level 4, which will be after the next battle. Probably better off doing some wolf gaming, if you know what I mean. Alright, so this could be life-threatening. Let's see what my attack is now. Attack value is 14, so yeah, it worked properly. But the growth potion I think was bugged at some point in the beta. I can never remember if it got fixed. Looks like it did. Haste for plus 10 initiative. It's a huge deal now. I gotta focus on their wolf there. Damn it. Oh, there you go. Thought this would be harder. Oh, right, he's poisoned. I was gonna regenerate for a little bit first. Now I don't have the chance. So the real question is, do I want Path of the Mage? I am a summoner. But I could do other choices just as easy. I might as well take it. Oh, one idea I had was to involve spell mastery into summoning, where you would calculate the chance to get a higher level summon would be decided by your spell mastery divided by 2 or something like that. So if you had like 100 spell mastery, you'd get 50% chance to summon a greater Shadow Warg as opposed to a Shadow Warg. Could be interesting. I'm gonna try and get away from that Overdroth. I'm afraid he's coming after me, and I need to heal. I'll take Mighty next. No construction. We'll want Merchant. Is 27 my highest production level? No, I have a 32 and a 26. Losing money right now, so that hero isn't going to be a possible option for me for some time. Give Marilla some extra defense. Hopefully I can kill these mites pretty easy. She's got some decent spells. Yeah, plus the bash ability. Don't forget about bash. Terrible. She's level 5 though, and it's going to be 170 points to her next level up. If you're wondering why that Overdroth isn't destroying my outpost, I don't think that the AI really ever sees an outpost as a target. It's more so the units on top that are a target. But if you build Warden, it'll decrease monster aggression all the way, which will mean that any units inside are also not seen by the AI. Pariden. Oh, they got a little bit of growth available now. Almost ready for a sage. Yeah, I'll take sage after that. And then study. Need to up my research game. Probably not even quite doing double of what my competitors are doing. So I've just taken the Ophidian quest, if you're familiar with it. Missionary Hall. Oh, right, yeah. So they wanted Missionary Hall first, and then they'll go with Merchant Cross Bazaar. Starting to fall pretty far behind in faction power. I can do 2 Shadow Orbs because the familiar can cast Shadow Orb. That's pretty cool. You know what, come to think of it, I don't want my Shadow Orb anywhere near this battle. Or my familiar. So, Yithril, he's got True Strike, he's got Acrobat, some Strength, Adventurer's Boon. I'll go a straight Path of the Warrior. Could go Assassin, but it doesn't really feel like a very Pariden-like thing to have an assassin working for them. Except maybe later in the game. I should create a treaty with these guys so they can stay happy with me. Trade caravan. Probably not worth that much Gildar. See, this is what bothers me. They want 225 Gildar for plus 0.2 Gildar per turn. It's going to take pretty much the entire game to make that back. But it'll increase when I increase my economy. Tinfel's Merchant. Looks like Gilden and Yithril are buddy-buddy right now. That is historically how things worked. The enemy of your enemy is your enemy, which creates sort of a checkered pattern of alliances across a given continent. I'm going to want storehouse as soon as possible. Oh, whoops, I have to go back there. Forgot about that. What does Ravenheart need? Workshop. Plus 8 production, now we're talking. I'm gonna go do that quest up here. Is that Lord Markin? I would like to get a glimpse at his power level. At his earliest convenience, I suppose. Hunter's axe is working out well for me. So now I can choose town. Note that my production is currently at 36, and now it's 45. It's a pretty decent boost. I would say that a 33% boost to production is a little bit better than a +3 boost to research, especially since this city probably won't make it up to level 3. But I can do well if I choose for +1 growth, and then in for another +1 growth. Once I have storehouse and granary and so on. Alright, so next I'll take garden for 2 turns, and then I can always revisit. What was the reward there? Anyone catch that? Potion of restoration. So tilde field means possible corpse spider. I think I'll head back to the capital with that unit and then send my more powerful forces up there. Give a nice chance to switch out the equipment of that unit. Whoops. Workshop completed. Oh, I can give her Enchanted Backpack to reduce her initiative penalty. Not bad. Alright, but then I gotta be moving on. Oh, good. I was thinking that all this area was already Guildish. Doesn't look like it is quite yet. What is Farhammer again? It's a 3-3. Didn't know that. Alright, so now they're doing Study. After Study, we'll want Adventurers Guild. You'll notice Adventurers Guild is 25% chance of gaining 5 XP, which is a little more than 1 XP per turn, as opposed to 0.25 XP per turn, which was what you'd average out in the vanilla version. It's kind of probably something that they didn't want to be affecting balance while they got the XP level straight, so they just have it, you know, mega nerfed until everything else is finished, and then they'll boost it back up to where they want it. That's how I would probably do it. Collect tilde herbs. Alright, so it looks like no corpse spider. I could have done this mission with the other one. I need to kill Zawmok the Blade. Oh, crap. See, this is the problem with friggin' mites. They have a larger wandering radius, and then, like I said, they breed like cockroaches. They're one of the only units that'll do that, though. Every once in a while you'll see a Wilding raiding party or a Darkling riders show up, but the majority of the time it's going to be mites that are destroying your resources. Trimmer their asses. There we go. I really wish that mods like this were possible in multiplayer, but first we'd have to have multiplayer, and then we'd have to have the ability for the server to read custom XML files, and nothing like that's been promised, except that we'll probably see multiplayer sometime after the game gets super popular after release. That's right, she has the haste ability. These mites here with 57 HP, these are what, level 4 or 5? Level 5. Really starts to add up at that point. And the AI can increase levels at a much faster pace in this version. I'm gonna upgrade this altar. I like the Iron Mine too. It's about time to start, well, let's see. I've got 13 research per turn. When that gets up to around 20 research per turn, I'll go down the warfare tree and get some basic technologies to make knights. Attack the creature. Oh, I have an Ophidian now. Totally didn't catch that. Go me. Yeah, super easy to kill those guys. Some people like to give the creature the potion so you can create tons and tons of butchermen for free, but I like to string them to the post because I'd rather have the restoration potion. That can be really valuable in the late game if your heroes get an unbearable injury. You can sort of reset the clock on them. I'll leave Morella down here for now. I'm worried about more mites. We would be interested in trading technology. Nope. That's probably my only advantage over that race. Aggression pack has expired. And now they want 200 Gildar to renew. You bastards. What is their opinion of me? We're close? So I'm going to make a decision here. Might not be a popular decision. Might not be a smart decision. Let's see, so 10 of that is worth about 90 Gildar. I'm just going to give them the Gildar they want. Because I think that I can get a near equal faction power pretty soon. And I'd like to have the chance to do so before they try and start a war, because I don't want to have to fight a war on both sides. That could be really bad. I'm in a difficult position. Anytime you have a civilization in between two other civilizations, you must always be wary of war. It's usually better to pay off your potential enemies. Things are going pretty well. I should save. Save game, manual save. Only an hour and 24 in the video so far. Actually, this is a decent enough time to take a short break. One last thing I'll do is remember to cast my Nature's Bounty, which is an expensive spell, but it's really necessary to get as much grain as you can. And if you're getting extra grain to a city from Essence, it needs to cost you a lot, hence the 100 mana. Okay, well, that's pretty much all we have for this video. Next time I come back, I'll start building a proper army. Some final thoughts. Let's see, we're at about turn 89. So you might notice that the tech pace is a lot faster. Well, it depends, I guess, how you play. But if you play like I do, it's a little bit slower, actually, in this particular build, because I went 2 towns instead of 3 total conclaves. But overall, these are going to pay off with production power. So I'm going for sort of a civic/rush strategy. In the next part, I'm going to try and get some trained units, and then go to war. But I won't be able to get fortresses to build my trained units, so instead I'm going to build them at these towns, and these towns are going to specialize in tank units. So we're going to have these heavy HP units on my front line, and then rely on spellcasters in the back to do the majority of the damage. So that's going to be the sort of new strategy that I've added to the game that I'll be showcasing. If anyone has any comments or requests about how they would like to formulate a strategy but the mechanics just aren't quite there, go ahead and post it in either the Let's Play video thread or the mod thread. And I suppose I'll see you next time I start the video.